We will be removing one player per season from Arsenal until they get relegated. At the end of each season, we'll be spinning this wheel and randomly releasing one player until Arsenal get relegated down to the Championship.
Here we go.
Alrighty, so Arsenal actually have 30 players at the club in total at the minute, but 7 of them are actually out on loan. However, they have Nkapie from Bayer Leverkusen at the minute. It's 24 players. That's 24 spins of the wheel potentially until Arsenal get relegated down to the Championship. And without further ado, let's spin this wheel and see who the first player is that is leaving Arsenal Football Club. Is it going to be a big one? Ooh, is it Ben White or is it Havertz? Alright, first player removed from the club, Ben White.
He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
Benjamin White, as he's called on FC26, is being released. Goodbye. Right, and we're going to get the season off to a start. Here we go.
What?
So at the end of the first season, Arsenal did not win the FA Cup. They got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. However, they did win the Champions League. Surprisingly, they beat Bayern Munich 1-0 in the final. But if we look to the Premier League and see how they got on in there, they managed to finish second only on goal difference. It was a 2-goal difference between Man City. So a very, very close title run after the first season without Ben White. Clearly it didn't matter much to them. And as we return back to the Wheel of Death, we are going to go and see who is going to get knocked out of the club next. Is it going to be a big name? It is going to be... Is it Gyökeres? Wait a second. So the main striker, Victor Gyökeres, is being removed from the club. Right, so now season number 2 for Arsenal with no Ben White and no Victor Gyökeres, their 7th best player, 86 overall, is about to be removed from the club. So there we go. Who do they have up front now? Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle. I don't know where they're going to get goals from this time. Maybe they won't finish second this season. Let's go and have a look.
To me, next season we can win the quadruple. People might laugh because...
quadruple?
Absolutely, listen.
Right, and at the end of the second season, Arsenal still have no FA Cup. They still have no Carabao Cup. In the Champions League, they got knocked out in the round of 16 against Man City. But in the league, we're going to have a look. And they, once again, have finished second, but with a gap of 5 points this time, rather than the goal difference of +2. So still underneath Man City. They just can't get ahead of them.
We can beat Manchester City and we can still win this title. Believe.
And once again, we return to the Wheel of Death, or the Wheel of Free Agents, to see who's going to get kicked out of the club next. Player number 3 to leave the club is going to be... It's going to be Martin Odegaard. Right, so Martin Odegaard is the next sacrifice for this video, leaving Arsenal their 7th player. 7th best player. Their captain is now leaving the club as well. So yeah, down to 27 players now, 3 removed.
It's time to go!
Right at the end of season 3, the game decided to crash out and not show me much, but Arsenal did win the FA Cup. They did not win the Carabao Cup, and surprise, surprise, once again, they finished second in the Premier League. In the Champions League, they got to the finals and finished second again, getting knocked out to Man City. Which takes us back to the Wheel of Death to see who the next one is going to be leaving Arsenal, and it is going to be... Kepa, Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's leaving. So one of their lower rated players, Lewis Skelly, is going to be leaving the club. Right, so the second lowest rated player still at the club that isn't out on loan, Miles Lewis Skelly, is also going into the free agents. So at the end of season 4, Arsenal almost won the FA Cup again, losing out on penalties to Chelsea. They also made it to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, and they are also in the final of the Champions League, which are just about to play. But the biggest surprise of all, despite losing 4 of their players, they have managed to win the Premier League.
First thing, Robbie. What we think of Tottenham? Yeah! Shit.
Not just win it, absolutely obliterate it by finishing 15 points ahead of Manchester City. However, they did not win the Champions League, Saka missing a penalty and losing at 3-2. Lewis Skelly has ended up on the other team at Barcelona. So Arsenal still doing really good despite losing 4 of their players. Can we nerf them here with a decent wheel spin and get rid of one of their top stars? It's gonna be Noni Madueke is getting released from Arsenal. So squad's getting really thin now. I've had to recall back one of their lowest rated players, Louis Copley, because we just did not have enough players to release Noni Madueke. So yep, squad of 25 with 7 of those out on loan.
We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining?
Yeah.
Are you being serious? It's raining for both teams.
Okay, and with the end of Season 5, Arsenal are knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the final. However, once again, proving that they are FA Cup champions and winning it for, I believe, the 3rd time now. They did not win a Champions League, they got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Chelsea, but the Premier League, they did very well, but they still could not beat Liverpool, who finished 4 points ahead of them on 90 points for the season. However, they're still not struggling, so we've come back to the wheel to get another player removed from the club. Is it going to be one of their stars? It's a big name. It's Mikel Merino who's getting removed from the club this time. Now, could Mikel Merino be the cog in midfield that they need to keep their season going? And we'll find out once we remove him from the club and see how Arsenal get on with this season.
He's the one driving us to great heights. Meanwhile, the manager thinks the best thing to do, force him out.
Right, and at the end of Season 6, Arsenal have not won the Carabao Cup. They didn't win the FA Cup, but Sunderland did, and it was against Brentford in the final. What a random cup final.
Boring.
Arsenal did not win the Champions League. The final was about to be played between Paris Saint-Germain and FC Barcelona. However, despite losing Ben White, despite losing Gyökeres, despite losing Odegaard, Lewis Skelly, Noni Madueke and Mikel Merino, Arsenal have managed to win the Premier League again, finishing on 89 points and beating Man City and Liverpool to it this time. And as we go back to the Wheel of Death, for the names getting thinner and thinner on the wheel, who is the next person to be eliminated from the club? It's gonna be Jurrien Timber. So yeah, still with quite a lot of good players, Gabriel being an 89 and Saliba and Rice being 88s. Jurrien Timber's not that far down the list. On an 84, he is now being released from the club.
It's going down, I'm yelling timber.
At the end of Season 7, and Spurs won the Carabao Cup against Newcastle in the final. But more surprisingly, in the FA Cup, Ipswich won the FA Cup. So Ipswich will be playing in bloody Europe next season. The Champions League and Arsenal did not make it very far. However, the Premier League, once again, proving that they don't need all those other players, they have won the Premier League again.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better. I am better!
When will this team start losing games, honestly? Right, we need a big name here. We need a Saka, we need a Martinelli or someone like that. It's going to be Martin Zubimendi, which means more of their midfielder going missing. Alright, so Martin Zubimendi is an 85 rated player on here. Very important player, and releasing him should hopefully damage their season. Finally, halfway through Season 8, the cracks are starting to show. Arsenal are 10th in the table. They're not winning for a change. They're losing a lot of games to a lot of terrible teams.
Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Finally, I think we've reached a turning point in this video. Arsenal are starting to lose quite a lot of games now. They have not got anywhere near to winning the Carabao Cup. Same with the FA Cup. They went out in round 5 to West Ham. And in the Premier League, for the first time, they have not finished in the top 4.
This is my season ticket, you know. This is my season ticket. Do you know how much I pay for this shit? I don't need it.
However, they have made it to the Champions League final, playing Juventus, which we're just about to simulate. Yes, Arsenal won the Champions League. With all the players they're missing, they won the Champions League. Right, it's time to get nerfed. Big name here. Gabriel, Saka, Saliba. It's the goalkeeper. It's David Raya. Oh no. The next player to leave the club in season number 9, I believe, is David Raya. It's one of their best players. He's almost the best player. 87 overall rated, being released. Goodbye, David Raya. Alright, it's halfway through the season. We're going to go take a look and see how Arsenal are getting on. What the hell? This is ridiculous. How many players have they lost and they're still second in the league?
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
I think it's time to tear up the wheel, lads. It's time to get rid of the wheel and start eliminating their best players. Right, and at the end of this season, after Arsenal finished 29th in the Champions League, we're going to go have a look, see how they got on in the league and the various cup matches. In the Carabao Cup, they went and bloody won it with, what, 9 less players They went and won the bloody Carabao Cup. The FA Cup, they got eliminated pretty early on. Didn't even make it out of round 3. And in the Premier League, they finished in 5th place, securing a Europa League spot. So yeah, definitely time to rip up this wheel and get serious with it. Start getting rid of their best players.
Finally!
Alright, the club was starting to get extremely thin with the squad. So we've had to sign some old bastards from the free agents. Just a couple of squad fillers, really. Whilst we go absolutely brutal mode and release Gabriel and William Saliba. A double free agent. A double release. Let's see how they cope with this one. Right, with the end of Season 10 and us nerfing Arsenal with 2 releases, I was hoping to see them down this end of the table, actually. But they're not here. Where are they in the league? Oh my god, they're 7th still. How have they finished 7th?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Right, that calls for another 2 releases. Right, season number 11, another 2 players on the chopping block. Declan Rice is getting released, and so is Bukayo Saka. Surely they'll be just above the relegation zone with these 2 players gone. So currently in May, there's been 4 games played with 1 win, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And there's only 1 game left of the season, and Arsenal are level on points with Leeds. Is this going to be the game that takes Arsenal down? They're currently actually in 18th, so Leeds must have won their other game in hand. But if we can beat Crystal Palace, we may survive.
And here we go.
So I can't believe it. It's all come down to the last game of the season against Crystal Palace. And I don't believe it, they've lost! They've lost to Crystal Palace on the last day of the season. Wolves actually ended up winning their last game of the season, so we were down anyway. But yeah, it's finally happened. After 11 seasons, Arsenal are relegated to the Championship.
Do you know what I mean? What do we do, Robbie?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't and you are an Arsenal fan, you want to see Spurs do badly, click on this video here where we relegate Spurs and send all their players to the free agents.